Hey guys, it is Drew here at Carve of My Eye. Today I have a really awesome technique to show you guys. It's this like faux weathered wood is what I call it. And it looks so cool if you can see on the frame there. And then your photo just slides right in the side of the frame, so it's really a neat technique. First we're going to start off with a 6x6 piece of chipboard, actually two of them. And what I did to get the hole cut out is I just measured an inch on all the sides and drew straight lines and cut out the 4x4 inch square in the center. And I'm painting it with some 708 Dove Gray acrylic paint by Faux. And I'm just adding two huge globs, and I'm using this brush that has dried paint on it because I find it adds great texture to your frame that we're doing here, and that's what our wood texture, you want it to look like wood. So I'm just painting on that Dove Gray paint using that dried paint brush. And then you can see I am adding some swirls right here, and that's what's going to give you like the little welts on your wood, or the little like knots. I don't know what you want to call them, but they're little it's just going to add more texture if you add like a little circle. It's kind of like where a branch is going to start growing out. It's really cool, and I'm just heating it up with my heat gun. And that's what I did with the first layer of the thing, is I heat it up with my heat gun. Now I'm using some Distressing from Tim Holtz, and this is a black soot color, and I kind of inked it up with the brown on accident. And I'm just going to rub the ink pad straight on top of that paint, and because we added the texture, it goes on with a really rough texture. If you just painted it on with a smooth brush, it would go on like a smooth gloss with a little tiny bit of texture. But as you can see, we're just going over it, and that's what the knot looks like. That does not look like wood. It's just so cool. And that's what the knot looks like, and there's a couple more around it that I added on. So that's like the wood. It really looks like wood. And I'm going in just with a little bit more, because I think it needs a little bit more distressed, weathered effect. And I love the right bottom corner if you saw it there. It's really cool. And I just heated the Distressing so it dry, so I don't have to wait 15 minutes or however long it takes to dry. And I'm just kind of straightening my frame out. Then I'm spritzing it with some Silver Sugar Tattered Angels Glimmer Mist, and it's just a kind of like a clear silver glimmer mist, kind of like the iridescent gold but silver. And I just heat set that on there, and it's really glimmery if you could see it right there. Really pretty. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to tie on some ribbon, and this is a Celebrated basic ribbon from Michaels, and it just is like a 1/2 inch saddle stitch ribbon in black, and I'm using my Tim Holtz tonic scissors to cut that, and I just got those at the Carson Stamp Convention, and they're really cool. So I'm just tying a bow in my ribbon there, as you can see there, and I'm just overlapping right over left, pull tight, and then I'm making my loops, and I'm wrapping a bow, just like however you learn to make a bow. And you kind of have to fiddle with the bow to get it how you'd like it, because not all bows are really easy to tie. And then I'm trimming off the edges after I have my bow how I like it to look. So as you can see, it's a really cool little touch onto my frame. And then I have one of these feathers, and these are just from Joann's. They're just like a basic feather. They're just like these black feather, and you get 12 of them in a pack. I think it was like $3, but I used a 40% off coupon. And I'm just going to grab one of the feathers, and I'm not even using adhesive. I'm just going to shove it directly down behind that bow, right there. And I find I don't really like it here because it's kind of sticking off the frame too much. So I pull it out from the bottom because I don't want the feather edges to rip off if I pull it up. And I just place it there, and I like it right there. And you could trim the bottom, but I kind of like the look of the little bottom edge on there. Now I'm going in with a piece of 6x6 chipboard, and I have this piece of paper from the Die Cuts with a View cream collection, and I'm just adhered that on, and I'm again using the Silver Sugar Glimmer Mist to just glimmer mist that on there. And I'm heat setting it with the heat tool, and after it's all heat set, I'm just going to wipe off any extra glimmer that might be on there. And then you can see I have this outside frame, which is going to be glued on to the front. So I'm just adding glue on 3 of the edges, and I'm just using my ATG gun just to run through the edges. It'd probably be better with like a hot glue gun, but my hot glue gun's broken at the moment. So, and you can see my feather kind of turned on me, and I don't really realize it throughout the video of how the feather looks, kind of like it's flaring out. But I'm just attaching this on to my piece of my backing there. You don't have to cover the back if you don't like to, if you know you're going to put a photo in there, but I'm just going to put it on there for now because I'm not really sure what I'm going to use. And I made the opening towards the top this time so I could slip a photo down the top. Have it go there. Right inside of there. Or you could just paste your photo right inside, but I like slipping it in because then you could interchange it. Now I'm using a vintage clock hand, and it's just from my stash of vintage items that I keep around in my room. And I just shoved it in there as well, not using any adhesive at all, because the bow's pretty tight, so it's going to hold the stuff in. And then I'm using this cameo I got from Nancy. Thank you so much, Nancy. I really love the cameo. And she dusted it with some perfect pearls, which is really cool. And I just added some ATG adhesive on, and I'm just putting it at the bottom there. And in my original, I added a little bit of the black soot distressing over the top to kind of pop out the details on the piece, but I didn't do it in this one. I did after the video, like, because I'm doing this after the video, but not in the video. Then I'm punching holes really close to the top that are right above that corner there, if you could see, right above that corner. And I'm going to do it on the opposite side also. Just going to punch a hole really close to the top. You're only going to want like an 1/8 to a 1/16 inch of room across the top. And there's 2 thicknesses of chipboard, so it's really not going to come undone or rip out of the piece. So you can see it's right lined up there again. And I didn't measure anything, it's just a really simple and easy hole punch to do. And then I'm using a silver chain, and you could find this at my website at cardofmyeye.com under the shop and metal findings, and I think you get like 3 or 4 yards of it, and it's really inexpensive, and it has these really big links. So I'm just going to cut a piece off of this really shiny silver chain, and I just cut it off right there. And it's open link, so you could easily open the links like a jump ring. So you could use it as like a strand of jump rings if you'd like, or a chain. And then I have a homemade needle, and I threaded on some, just some fiber, and I'm weaving in and out of my needle, or in and out on the chain using my needle, and I'm just going to thread through some fiber, because I think this adds a nice touch to the chain. If you had a thicker chain, you could thread through some like organza ribbon. That would look nice, or really whatever you'd like to use through your chain. It just adds a nice little element. And again, I'm threading it through. So you can see it's all threaded through there, and I kind of fluffed up the edges of it. And then I'm going to open up because I said earlier that it was an open ring chain, which means that it's not soldered on the links. So the links are open, so you could completely open up the links if you'd like to. So as you can see, I'm opening up the link using just 2 pairs of pliers. And you could probably see it a little bit better towards the bottom there, but you can't see it right there. But right there, you could probably see it. And I'm just going to slip it directly inside of that hole there. And you kind of have to fidget with it to get inside it there, but it fits. And I close it off, and it's completely tightly bound. And I have the one edge on, and I'm going to do the same thing to the opposite edge. So you can see I have it on there now. And I'm just going to trim the edges up using some, or the tonic scissors. And that finishes up our little frame that we created today. So thank you guys so much for watching, and you can see them side by side right here, and they're really, really cool little frames. So yeah, you could head over to my blog to see detailed photos, and they're also towards the end of this video. Thanks so much, you guys, and don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe. Bye everyone.